Encyclopedia in minutes. Our planet Earth. Lines on the globe. The latitude and longitude. Part 6. The Earth is nearly a sphere. The shape of the Earth presents some difficulties in positioning its surface features as there is no point of reference from which to measure the relative position of other points. Hence, a network of imaginary lines is drawn on a globe or map to locate various places. Let us find out what are these lines and how they are drawn. If we look at the map or globe of the world, we may notice lines running east-west and north-south. The horizontal lines which run east-west are known as lines of latitude. The line drawn midway between north and south pole is called equator. The lines running north-south are known as lines of longitude. The spinning of the Earth on its axis from west to east provides two natural points of reference, that is north and south poles. They form basis of geographical grid. The grid consists of two sets of horizontal and vertical lines, which are called parallels of latitudes and meridians of longitudes. The lines are drawn for the purpose of fixing the location of different features. Parallels of latitudes. Lines of latitude run across the globe east-west. The latitude indicates the north-south position of a point on Earth. Lines of latitude start at 0 degrees at the equator and end at 90 degrees at the north and south poles for total to 180 degrees latitude. The higher the value of degree of latitude, the closer it is to the north or south poles. Distance between lines of latitudes. The distance between each degree of latitude is about 69 miles, that is 110 kilometer. Major lines of latitude. The five major parallels of latitude from north to south are called Arctic Circle, Tropic of Cancer, Equator, Tropic of Capricorn, and Antarctic Circle. Arctic and Antarctic Circles. The Arctic and Antarctic Circle are the parallels of latitude that are roughly 66.5 degrees. The region above the Arctic Circle, which includes the North Pole, is known as Arctic. The region south of Antarctic Circle, which includes South Pole, is known as Antarctic. Tropic of Cancer. The Tropic of Cancer marks the location where the sun reaches the highest point in the sky, directly above us. The exact latitude is not a fixed point, and latest measurement is 23 degrees north. The summer solstice, which occurs on either June 20 or June 21 each year, marks the day on which the sun shines vertically over this parallel. Tropic of Capricorn. The Tropic of Capricorn is parallel line of latitude which is currently located at 23 degrees south. The winter solstice, which occurs either on December 21 or December 22 of each year, marks the day on which the sun shines vertically over this parallel. Equator. The line drawn midway between the North Pole and South Pole is called the equator. It is the largest circle and divides the globe into two equal halves. Equator is called as Great Circle. Everything north of equator is known as Northern Hemisphere, and everything south of equator is known as Southern Hemisphere. The equator crosses 78% of water, 21.3% land, and is about 24901 miles, that is 40075 kilometer long. Meridians of longitudes. Longitude lines run north-south and mark the position east-west of a point. Lines of longitudes run from pole to pole, crossing the equator at right angles. All lines of longitude are equal in length. Each line of longitude is one half of the great circle. Meridian of longitude. There are 360 degrees of longitude, plus 180 eastward and minus 180 degrees westward. The longitude line at 0 degrees is known as prime meridian. The prime meridian divides the world into Eastern Hemisphere and Western Hemisphere. Prime meridian is also known as Greenwich meridian. Distances that are west of prime meridian are noted with negative sign in front of the number, and distances that are east of prime meridian are noted with positive sign in front of the number. 180 degrees of longitude west and 180 degrees of longitude east. Distance between longitudes. The distance between longitude at the equator is the same as latitude, roughly 69 miles. At 45 degrees north or south, the distance between the longitude is 49 miles, that is 79 kilometers. The distance between longitude reaches zero at the poles as the lines of meridian converge at the poles. Difference between latitude and longitude. Latitude implies the geographic coordinates that determine the distance of a point north-south of the equator, whereas longitude implies to the geographic coordinate which identifies the distance of a point east-west of the prime meridian. Latitudes are also known as parallels. Longitudes are known as meridian. The length of the parallel lines are different. The length of the longitude lines are same. Latitude classifies heat zones. Longitude classifies time zones. There are 180 degrees latitude lines, whereas there are 360-degree longitude lines. Importance of imaginary lines. The imaginary lines are important around the globe because they are drawn for navigation, to measure time, and to find other geographic details. These lines are very much helpful in assessing an object's position around the planet. Owing to these sites, distances of artifacts are also found. Universal system for measuring time and date. Universal system for measuring time and date. Two longitudes which help establish a standard system for keeping time and date across the world are: number 1, the prime meridian or 0 degrees longitude, which is the specially designated imaginary north-south line that passes through both the geographic poles. Number 2, the international date line or 180 degrees longitude, which is another imaginary line running from North Pole to South Pole but located on opposite side of Earth from the prime meridian. International date line. The line on Earth where one calendar day becomes the next is known as International Date Line or IDL. The IDL was established in 1884, which passes through the mid-Pacific Ocean and roughly follows a 180 degrees longitude north-south line on Earth. It is located halfway around the world from the prime meridian, the 0 degrees longitude, and established in Greenwich, England in 1852. The IDL runs north-south from pole to pole, but it zigzags around the political borders such as eastern Russia and Alaska's Aleutian Islands. The IDL is deviated at places on map so that it does not cut through any island or cause confusion of dates in any country. International date line functions as a line of demarcation separating two consecutive calendar dates. If we cross the IDL to the west, it would count as one day later, and if we cross IDL to the east, it would count as one day gone back in time. Establishing time zones. The world is divided into 24 time zones. The course of one day is broken down to seconds and calculated to define the correct time of a particular place. The 24-hour time zone created in accordance of each hour of the day are theoretically drawn vertically like longitudes over the globe. The Coordinated Universal Time (UTC) is used to regulate time and date around the world. Time zones. Sir Sandford Fleming first created a system of using 24 standard time zones in 1876. Within each time zone, the clocks would be set at an average time that most closely reflected where the sun was located in the sky. The prime meridian serves as the basis for the world standard time zone system. International time is measured in time zones which are 15 degrees apart. 360 degrees divided by 24 hours equal to 15 degrees per hour. They are numbered by the hour, starting from the prime meridian. So the clock in Greenwich shows what is known as Greenwich Mean Time, now called the Universal Time Coordinated (UTC). This system makes it easy to calculate the time in other zones. For example, an area with coordinates marked 41 degrees 56 minutes 54 seconds north, 87 degrees 39 minutes 19 seconds west would be read as 41 degrees 56 minutes 54 seconds north, 87 degrees 39 minutes 19 seconds west. Displaying geographic locations as latitude and longitudes. The coordinates. To provide a geographic location using latitude and longitude, a pair of numbers known as coordinates are used. Coordinates are composed of degrees, minutes, and seconds, that is DMS. When providing coordinates, latitudes is always written first. Decimal degrees, which convert the minutes and seconds portion of the coordinates, is another way to write coordinates. Instead of noting the cardinal directions north, south, east, or west in decimal degrees, points that are west of prime meridian and south of equator are preceded by a negative sign, and points that are east of prime meridian and north of equator are succeeded by positive sign. How Universal Time Coordinated System works. Let's study. Universal Time Coordinated System. Germany, which is one time zone east of Greenwich, will be labeled as GMT plus 1. So, if the time in Greenwich is 10 a.m., the time in Germany will be 11 a.m. 10 a.m. plus 1 hour. California, which lies 8 time zones to the west of Greenwich, will be labeled as GMT minus 8. So the time in California will be 2 a.m. 10 a.m. minus 8 hours. Sir Sandford Fleming, father of Standard Time. Sir Sandford Fleming. Sir Sandford Fleming was Canada's foremost railway construction engineer, an inventor, and a scientist. Sir Sandford first created a system of using 24 standard time zones. Fleming first recommended the standard to the Royal Canadian Institute in 1879, and he was instrumental in conveying the 1884 International Prime Meridian Conference in Washington, at which the system of International Standard Time was adopted, which is still in use today. Fleming's system divided the world into time zones, each exactly 1 hour apart. With railway lines crisscrossing the country, railway station master had a harder time dealing with train schedules. The time zone system made it possible to schedule the time when tracks were used and to avoid head-on collisions. Coming up next, Earth's Moon, to be continued. Please do subscribe, like, share and comment, and thanks for watching.